ahead and lie down on your mats on your back. This is welcome, and this is a hip opening class. Open hips, open mind, open heart, open lens through which to view your world and conduct your life. So allow the weight of your body to sink down into your mat. Making sure the spine is straight and the limbs are arranged comfortably. Arms at your side, palms up a comfortable distance from your body, legs a comfortable distance apart, and just let the toes kind of flop open. And spend a few breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And each time you exhale, really take a long exhale. Maybe you need to sigh or groan, and allow the weight of the body to become heavier, and the earth, that strong, firm, stable foundation beneath you, to receive the weight of your body. So in a sense, the inhale fills you, makes you a little heavier, and the exhale empties you and get even heavier, and let the weight of your body melt into your mat. And do as many of those breaths as feels appropriate for you today, right here, right now. And once you feel you're settled, let the breath find its own natural rhythm. If you can, breathe in and out through the nose. Mouth is gently closed, the lips softly touching, eyes closed if that's comfortable. And let the breath become a little bit deeper, a little bit smoother, a little bit longer. In and out through the nose. And a few breaths, just like this, just being aware of your whole body here in the space and moment and time that you occupy on your mat, in the room you're in the home you're in the town you're in, the county, the state, your country, on the world, on the globe. Just being aware of the space you're in this moment in time. And your whole body is just resting on the floor. And all you have to do is breathe and be aware of your body resting on the floor. Mindfully regulating the breath so that it is smooth and soft and jerkless and pauseless and steady and even. Letting the back body melt into the floor, allowing the front body to melt towards the back body. Notice what happens when you do that. Make a conscious effort to do that. Allow the top crown of your head to be soft and open. Bring awareness into your face and your scalp and your ears, and let your face become smooth and serene and expressionless. The eyes resting deep into the eye socket orb. The tongue softly resting anywhere that's comfortable in your mouth. And perhaps as you consciously relax the hinges of your jaw, the teeth part just a little bit and the chin kind of drops back towards the floor. Without the lips parting, or if they part, that's okay too. And then bringing your awareness down into your neck and throat, sensing the front, back, and sides of the neck being long and soft, resting here completely, not having to support the weight of your head, at least hardly at all. And then bring your awareness deep into the pit of your throat and see if you can soften in there and let it become open and relaxed. And see if you can feel the wind, the breeze of your breath flowing in through the neck and throat, through the esophagus down into the lungs, and flowing out. And then let your awareness drift into your shoulders and shoulder blades, your arms and hands and fingers. And let the upper chest and shoulders and the upper back and shoulder blades, the arms and hands relax. All the way to all 10 fingertips, the hands and arms relaxing without anything to have to do. The fingers gently curved. And this is a gesture of safety, of relaxation, of openness. And then gently coming into the heart center and just feeling around at first into that center of your heart, deep inside the woven basket of your rib cage. And see if you can relax and soften the whole heart center. So imagine the front and the back of the heart softening and opening, and there's a little bit more space or easefulness there. And then imagine the sides of the heart similarly softening, relaxing, perhaps opening up a little bit of space and easefulness all around the heart, the top and the bottom, front and the back, and the sides of the heart center. Soft and relaxed and gently opening. The inhale comes in and feel the expansion of the torso in the heart center, blossoms in all directions. And the exhale, it softens inwards in all directions. Relax your heart center. And for about 3 more breaths on your own, imagine that you're breathing in and out through your heart center. And the inhale comes into the heart center, lights it up and expands it. And the exhale expands that heart energy throughout all your being and your energy out into the space around you, your aura. A few breaths with this heart-centered breathing, allowing yourself to be deeply connected to the qualities of your own heart, those higher vibrational universal qualities of the heart. They're all there in everybody. Of unconditional self-love and compassion, deep understanding, and kindness and forgiveness, and friendliness, and even sometimes grief and sadness resides here, and it's okay. None of us in our lives is without stories of grief and sadness, but we can hold it there. In the same instant of holding the love and compassion, peace and joy and serenity. That's the incredible magnificence of the human journey and our experience. And when you feel filled up with the heart breathing, let's gently bring awareness down to the stomach and navel area, softening and relaxing here. And let's do a similar visualization. As you breathe in, you come into the navel center. You feel like it lights up like a starburst, expands in all directions. And this is more of your power center, creative expression. And on the exhale, that radiant star gently draws inward to the core of your power, your solar core power. And so for a few breaths now, breathe in this way, just like you did in the heart, into your solar core power center, connecting with these energies of your personal empowerment, your center of manifesting, your personal power center, creating your life the way you want it.
I'll be back. Keep going. I gotta go check on them.
Filling up with this solar core energy, like a radiant sun filling you. On the inhale, radiating out in every direction. And on the exhale, drawing back into the storehouse of the solar core power center at the navel. And when you feel like you're complete there, move on down to the sacral plexus, deep between the hips, deep into the pelvic bowl. Relax the front, the low belly, the sacrum, the hips and the hip joints, and the pelvic floor. And then moving down into your legs, relaxing the upper legs, the knee joints, the lower legs, ankles, feet, and toes, all 10 toe tips. And allow the feet and the legs to just rest heavily without anything to have to do, not having to bear any weight, not having to take you anywhere. And now with this relaxation, being aware of your whole body, being truly connected as if you're breathing your whole body, from the toes to the crown to the fingertips. And maintain this connection as you move out into the practice. Just a few more breaths. And now, gently bring your awareness back. We'll begin some movement, focusing on hip openers. So have your strap handy where you can reach it. And you can have the knees bent so that the legs are in constructive rest. And let's just wake up the arms and the head a little bit, and neck and shoulders. So the arms in a T off your shoulders, palms up, fingers together, reaching as if you want to push the edges, the sides of the room away with your fingertips. And then turn the head to the right, looking over the right hand as it reaches towards the floor to the right, that wall to the right of you. And then gently come back to center and turn the head to the left, looking over the left fingertips, reaching those fingertips towards the wall opposite. Kind of touching the edge of your range of motion and the movement of the neck. And then bring the face back to center and relax the arms and just rock the nose side to side, keeping the back of the head on the mat. And then turn the palms down and press the arms into the floor, press the palms into the floor, and also reach the fingertips to the opposite walls again. And then I want you to engage your pelvic floor, engage your belly, and lift your chin towards your chest as you keep the activation in the arms. It's a little bit like nerve flossing. And then release the head back down, turn the palms up, let the hands and arms relax, and lift the chin and lower it, keeping the back of your head on your mat. And then rest. Couple of breaths, just noticing how that feels. And now think of it as swimming on the floor with the arms. So we're going to revolve the arms, keeping them on the floor up overhead, and then float them through the air, keeping the palms together, reaching again through the fingertips, palms down next to the hips on the floor, and then turn the palms up and sweep the arms along the floor, back to overhead. Sweep them through the air, back to next to the hips, turn the palms up. And then once again, like angel wings, open the arms out overhead. It's also like swimming a breaststroke with the body laying on the floor here. So move at your own pace, keeping your breath flowing. Move at the range of motion that's appropriate for you. Maybe your elbows can't be straight. The shoulders are too tight today, right? Or did too much gardening or drove for a long time, or just feeling a little tired. Honor that. It's the evening after a long day. And when you feel like you've had enough of the breaststroke direction, just change to a backstroke direction. And all the while, staying in constructive rest and just swimming the arms, Lengthening through the arms, fingers are together, lengthening through the fingertips. And feel like a little massage in the shoulder blades and the shoulder socket. Going along nice and easy. Make your circle as big or small as is appropriate for you. Bent elbows is just fine as well. Really honoring yourself and just noticing where you're at. And do that with curiosity, kindness, and interest. Avoid judging yourself. And one more complete revolution, and then rest the arms in a position right off the shoulders in a T. And then let's cross the right elbow over the left. Take hold of the shoulder tips, pull down, and kind of ground the elbows into your chest a little bit. Just stretching the arms in the opposite direction, coming in towards the center of the body. And on your next inhale, open the arms out again in a T. Cross the left elbow over the right, and take hold of your shoulder tips, pull down on the shoulders, ground the elbows into the chest, ground the shoulder blades into the mat. Just a few breaths. Notice how you feel. Notice the temperature of your body or the texture of your clothing, the movement of your breath. And then just release the hands to a comfortable position anywhere for you. And then let's get the legs parallel and a little bit of space behind the knees. And do a little pelvic tilt. So you're just going to curl the pubic bone in, drawing the tailbone towards the pubic bone, flattening out the low back and the waist. And then in the opposite direction, tipping the pubic bone towards the tailbone and exaggerating that arch in the waist and low back. So again, moving in a range of motion and a tempo or speed that is right for you. And think of it as a massage to the low back. The legs are parallel, the toes are pointing towards the wall opposite them, and the knees are pointing directly to the ceiling now. And the legs are just hip distance apart. Just a gentle pelvic tilt. Rocking and tilting the pelvis gently. And then pause. And now gently bring weight into the feet and lift the pelvis off the floor barely and swing it side to side, even with the low back brushing your mat. Just a gentle swinging side to side. And then come to center and rest. And just take a breath or two. Coming back into constructive rest, feet wide, toes in, knees touching, if that's okay for you and comfortable. And just let the body settle and process and take that in. And now take hold of the knees and cup them with your palms, with the fingertips pointing down the shins. And the feet are gently charged with the heels just hanging at the back of the thighs. And bend the elbows and draw the knees towards your belly, keeping the low back grounded. And then straighten the elbows out and push the knees into the hands and resist. So just going back and forth with this movement now. Drawing the knees in, bend the elbows, drawing the knees away, give a little resistance with the knees and hands, and straighten the elbows out. It's just a very small range of motion. But feel the massage to the low belly and the groins and the low back, the sacrum and the hip joints. Nice and gentle. And then pause and keep the toes together and make big circles with the knees now, keeping the toes together. So like stir sticks, the knees come in towards the belly, open them wide, and then straighten the elbows and release them away. Nice big circles. And just notice how it feels a little bit different than the other movement. Different structures being put into play in different ways. And then change direction of your stirring. And then draw the knees towards your underarms and bring, or towards your shoulders, and bring the feet up towards the ceiling with them flexed. And bring your hands behind the knees and draw the knees towards the shoulders and the floor. Or maybe bring the forearms. Now you want to keep the low back grounded. This is just a variation on happy baby pose, depending on your flexibility at this point in time. Or if you're feeling more flexible, maybe you can hold on to the shins, the ankles, or the outsides of the feet, drawing the knees towards the underarms and the floor. So just hold in happy baby pose for a few breaths, flatten the whole back body out. No straining into the neck and shoulders, and push the feet into the hands and pull back with the hands, with the feet. So we have this dynamic push and pull always going on, right? It's also like called isometric. And feel the belly rise on the inhale between the thighs, whichever position you're in, and gently fall back towards the floor on the exhale as you breathe out. Just a few breaths, opening the hips in this way. Feel the stretch in the groins and the sacrum, low belly. And if it feels okay, rock side to side, massaging the back body. See how that feels. You can have a small rocking side to side, or you can go all the way as far over as bringing the leg down. And then pause in the middle, bring the soles of the feet together, push the knees away, holding onto the shins, ankles, or feet. Engage the low belly, engage the pelvic floor, and look up with the head and shoulders towards the toes. So it's kind of like a bow now, right? There's tension. Gentle activation of the feet pushing into the hands, and the hands pulling back, and the knees pressing away. The belly's engaged, holding the head and shoulders up a little bit. Just a few breaths. Push the knees away, pull the feet towards you. Keep parts of the body back that are on the floor grow well grounded, supporting you. You keep the pelvic floor engaged and the belly. And then gently lay back and hug the knees to the chest, bringing the inner legs and feet together. And if it feels comfortable, rock side to side again. And again, that can be bigger or smaller, depending how it feels for you, rolling over the spine and the sacrum and the shoulder blades. And then pause. Release the left leg long, flexing the foot, pressing the heel towards the wall opposite, and ground the back of the left leg, and draw the right knee in as close as you can to the torso. If you're super flexible, draw it out towards the side body. That foot is flexed as well. That ankle is flexed as well. And then bring the right hand on the floor, opposite the shoulder. Take hold of the right knee with the left hand and draw the left knee to the right, trying to keep the right shoulder grounded, and take your gaze to the right. It's just a gentle twist. You're keeping the left foot engaged, pressing the heel towards the wall opposite. Just a gentle spinal twist here, bent knee down. And then come back to center and come into force stretch. Bend the left knee, bring the right ankle onto the left thigh. Draw both legs towards you. You can put your strap around the left thigh or shin if the hips don't feel flexible enough, or hold on to the thigh or shin, and push the right elbow into the left thigh. Flex both ankles, fan all 10 toes out. Engage your belly, engage your pelvic floor, draw the knees towards you, draw your nose and shoulders towards the shin. Keep pushing out on the right thigh, opening that hip flexor and the deep 6 groin muscles. And then lay the head, neck, and shoulders down and rock side to side with the legs to whatever extent is comfortable and good for you here. And then pause. And release both feet to the floor. And just notice how that feels. And let's do a little pelvic tilt. Notice the difference between the right and left hip. I know my right one feels a little bit warmer and I feel a little flushing in the lymph there. And then let's straighten the legs out, arms up overhead, point and flex the feet a few times, fingers together, reaching for the wall opposite your head. Just point and flex the feet a few times. The body will rock with it a little bit. And then roll the ankles around, roll the feet around a few times in each direction. And let the legs kind of roll around. Feel that massage up in the hip joint where the head of the thigh bone comes into hip socket. And then on an exhale, draw the knees to the chest. Engage the low belly, engage the pelvic floor, lift your nose and shoulders towards the knees, curling up into a tight ball. Release your head, neck, and shoulders down. Release the right leg long this time. We'll do that whole routine on the opposite side. Flex the right ankle, press that right leg, the back of the right leg into the floor. Ground the shoulder blades, draw the left knee in with the left ankle. Flex all 10 toes, fanning out, breath is flowing. If you're super flexible, the left knee might come all the way out towards the left armpit, or perhaps even towards the floor for some people. And now hold on to the left knee with the right hand. Left arm goes out to the left, palm down or palm up. And gently draw the left knee to the right with the right hand, keeping the left shoulder and shoulder blade down if you can, keeping the right leg engaged. Gaze can go to the left or to the ceiling or over the right shoulder. Just take a few breaths. You feel like the waist is lengthening as you gently twist the pelvic girdle to the right. And gently come back to center. Come into force stretch on the left side, left ankle crossed over the right thigh, drawing the legs toward you with your strap or your hands, flexing the ankles, fanning all 10 toes out. Push the left elbow into the left thigh, opening that leg a little bit more if it feels okay. Engage the pelvic floor, engage the low belly, lift the head and shoulders towards the left shin. And just play with it. Play with going a little deeper, play with releasing out. Be curious. Does one hip feel different from the other? And then let's release the head, neck, and shoulders down and rock the legs in force stretch side to side. And then release the feet back to the floor. We'll do one more little routine with the strap here. So you can either have the left knee bent with the foot on the floor, or once again, you can straighten the left leg out, flexing the ankle towards the wall opposite, and bring the strap around the ball of your foot. Now, I like to do this with a small loop. Okay, and then the tail of the strap is quite long. Or some people prefer to do it with the strap in half and holding both ends of the strap. In either case, I'd like you to have the strap around the ball of your foot. Now, once you've got that set, draw the strap overhead and draw the leg with you to whatever extent is appropriate for you. It's okay to have a bent knee if you need. It's okay if your stretch is out here with the foot pointing towards the wall opposite the left foot. But find a place at first where you can straighten the leg out and press the ball of foot in the strap and then resist, pull back on the strap with your hands. And then start to stretch overhead, drawing the strap towards overhead. You might have to slide down the strap, drawing the foot into your fullest stretch. Keeping that relationship of the ball of the foot pushing into the strap and resisting with the hands with the strap. And now keep the strap into the right hand, bring the left hand onto the left hip and draw the leg out to the right to whatever extent you can. And move the strap to the heel and press the heel into the strap and resist with the hands. Try to keep the left hip and the left side of the body grounded. So, you know, perhaps the leg isn't coming very far to the right tonight, or maybe it is, but wherever you are, try to keep a straight knee for tonight's practice and pressing the heel into the strap and pulling back on it as you draw the leg out to the right. And you can take your gaze to the left to kind of counterbalance the weight of the leg. And bring the leg back to center, remove the strap, and bring that leg down. Prepare to go to the other side. So you can either have the right leg bent or the knee bent or the leg straight with the heel flexing towards the wall opposite. Whichever way you like to have your strap, put it around the ball of your foot. Straighten your leg out. Stretching through the back of the leg, stretching through the front of the leg, pressing the ball of the foot into the strap and resisting, drawing back with the hands, keeping the back body grounded, keeping your breath flowing. And wherever that is for you, honor yourself. Try to do it with the straight leg. And then when you feel ready, you can start to draw the leg further overhead by bringing your arms overhead and pulling on the strap, wherever that is for you. Keeping the right leg active, grounding it into the floor, flexing the heel towards the opposite wall. Both legs are active. Think of it as squeezing the flesh into the bone. And then bring the right hand onto the right hip, draw the left leg out to the left, and gently move the strap to your heel. Same thing as the other side. Flex the heel into the strap, resist back with your hand in the strap, take the gaze to the right, keep the right leg active, grounding into the floor, heel pressing towards the opposite wall. Let your breath flow. So it's a nice anti-gravity way, mostly, of stretching the hips and groins out. And then bring the leg back to center and release it from the strap. And bring the legs into constructive rest. Feet wide, toes in, knees touching. See how warm those hips and legs feel now. When you feel ready, roll to one side and carefully, gently sit yourself up. So we've been lying down for quite a while here. Bring the soles of the feet together. Closer to the body is a more intense stretch for the hips and groins. Further away from the body is a little bit more gentle. And hold on to the shins, ankles, or feet and lift and lower the knees slowly. This time of year, when you see the butterflies, they're flying a little bit slower. They're a little bit sleepy from the colder weather. Most of them have already migrated. And just feel how that feels. Lift them up, lower them down. And then let them stay lower down and start to reach the hands out. And you might only be able to tilt the body a half a centimeter, and that's okay. If you've got a little bit more, you can walk the hands out a little bit further. Find your edge and pause there. And with the inhale, gently reach into your range of motion. And on the exhale, soften into that edge. And back off a little bit if you need to. And then gently sit up. And let's take the legs out in Uttanasana Konasana. Toes towards the ceiling, grounding the backs of the legs into the floor. Torso lifting up out of the pelvic bowl. And use your hands to maybe perhaps help you get a little bit more height in the spine and to support. So the hands can come alongside the upper thigh, press the fingertips or the palms, depending on the length of your arms, to help support the torso, keeping the legs active here. And then bring the hands in front and start to walk out a little bit. Once again, tilting the torso forward a little bit. If it feels okay, maybe rock side to side. See how that feels, working a little deeper into the groins and hip structures. And however far you can come, keeping the torso lengthened as best you can do tonight. And find your place to be and pause for several breaths. And now walk the hands over to the left and frame your foot and turn the chest towards the left leg and reach your heart towards your toes. So wherever that is for you, make sure the hands are supporting you. And try to keep the right leg active, toes pointing towards the ceiling, trying to reach the heart and torso to the left as you reach the right leg towards the right. And now let's walk back to center and over to the right. Same thing, finding your place to be, making your minor adjustments, keeping the legs active, keeping the feet and toes active, supporting with the hands and arms, and breathing. Reaching the heart towards the right toes, reaching the left leg to the left. And then gently walk back to center. Pause there one last time for a couple of breaths. And then support yourself upright. So now bring the legs in towards the center line and just bounce the backs of the legs on your mat or on the floor there. And come into an easy seated cross position with the ankles right under the shins and sit the torso up nice and tall. And take hold of the right leg now. You can hold it in your hands, or maybe you can bring the foot and the knee into the crook of your elbow and rock this leg side to side and make little circles with it. And then pause and hold, drawing the shin towards your chest, lifting the torso high. And then release back to easy seated pose. And take your left leg, holding it with your hands or cradling it into the crook of the elbow. Cradle the left leg Gently rocking it side to side, gently making little circles. And then pause, drawing the leg up and close to the torso and lengthening the spine. And then gently release back to easy sitting pose. And let's roll the torso around now. Just another gentle massage, kind of churning in the hips and waist and torso. And change direction. And then pause. And let's just do a very short sequence of standing poses, and then we'll do a brief shavasana. So gently come to standing. And let's take the legs nice and wide, getting ready to do a wide-legged forward bend, Prasarita Padottanasana. Hands on the hips, toes are pointing forward, make sure they're even with each other. Engage the inner outer edges of the foot in all 4 points. Engage the legs, lift the torso up. And let's bring the arms out on an inhale. Exhale, start to fold forward. Now maybe you need your block here for your hands. And come forward with a flat back at first. Engage the legs and feet, lengthen the spine, press the hands into the block or on the floor, close to where the shoulder level is. Couple of inhales and exhales here. And on your next exhale, let yourself fold all the way down. If the head comes down, that's okay. If not, that's okay too. Or maybe try different heights on the block for the head, or just have the block supporting your hands, just allowing the head to float. A few breaths, keeping a dynamic action with 4 points of the feet and legs activating, and the folding at the crease where the torso meets the legs. Now, gently walk the hands towards the left leg. Same thing as we did when we were seated. You can hold on to the left leg. You can move your block over to the left all the way or a little bit. See where it's the right place for you. Take a few breaths there, folding over the left leg with the torso, using the hands to help you. Breath is flowing. And gently come back through center and over to the right. Second side. Finding your place, drawing the torso towards the right leg, keeping the feet and legs active. A few breaths. And gently come back to center. Hang for a breath or two in the middle and Prasarita Padottanasana. Then come to flat back. Carefully, hands to the hips, come all the way up. Now let's turn the right leg out, left toes in a little bit, and find your warrior 2 legs. The right heel needs to be aligned to about the left arch. You want the torso lifting up from the pelvic bowl. So use the hands to press down onto the hip crest and lengthen the waist, lengthen the spine. Then bring the arms out off the shoulders. You can take your gaze over the right hand, grounding into all 4 points of the feet. See if you can gently get a little bit deeper with your breath and lift up. Gently deepen and lift up. And deepen and lift up. And deepen and lift up all the way. Straighten that leg out. Reach long and find a triangle, Trikonasana. Lengthening through the torso and spine. Reaching through the arms. All 4 points of the feet grounding. Legs firmly engaged. Front panel of the low belly engaged. And gently come up. Hands to the hips. Turn the toes forward. Turn the left toes out and the right toes in. Find your warrior 2 on the opposite side. Pressing into the hip crest, lengthening the spine. Arms off the shoulders. Gaze can stay forward or over the left hand. And then just gently kind of lift and lower with the breath. Inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale up, straight knee, and then gently find your triangle. Gaze can be down, forward, or up. Lengthen the spine, draw the shoulders back, legs and feet stay engaged. Lengthen both sides of the spinal column, front and back, left and right. And gently come up. Turn the toes forward, hands to the hips, and gently bring the feet together and stand in a nice Tadasana. So the feet are parallel, big toes can be touching or not. Ground into the 4 points, engage the legs, fingertips pointing down, palms slightly forward, belly in, heart floating over the pelvis, head floating over the heart. Just notice now the strength and warmth in the legs and hips. And then gently come back to your mat and come onto your back. Knees can be bent or the legs can be straight. See what feels good for you. Once again, let's do a little bit of a pelvic tilt. Knees bent. If you want, otherwise you can lie still. And then draw the knees into the chest, rock side to side. And then find your Shavasana position. You can have the legs straight, make sure the spine is straight, arms comfortable distance from your body, palms up. Or you can be in constructive rest with the knees bent, feet wide, toes in, knees touching. But find your most comfortable place to be now for these last few moments, allowing this time to pause, to observe and absorb, to process and integrate, and to rest and restore. So let your breath flow in a gentle, easeful way, in a natural way that's comfortable for you. And relax. Relax and let go. Relax and let go. Relax your toes and your feet. Relax your ankles, your calves and shins. Relax your knee joints and your upper legs. All the flesh and muscle around the legs is relaxing now. Relax your pelvic floor. Relax your low back and your low belly. Let your pelvis rest heavily on the floor, relaxing the hips, low back, low belly, and the waist, the stomach and navel region. Relax the middle back, middle belly, the heart center. Relax your upper back and your upper chest. Relax your shoulders, your shoulder joints, your arms, your wrists, your hands and fingers. Relax your neck and your throat. Relax your head and your face. Relax your mouth and your eyes. Relax the center of your forehead. Let it be smooth without a crease or a wrinkle, relaxing your mind. And let your whole body, from the crown of your head to your fingertips to your toes, relax. Let your mind rest. For a few more moments here in Shavasana, completely relaxed, completely at rest, completely at peace. Resolve to carry with you any good you can from your time here today as you gently draw your awareness back to your breath at your nostril tips. Draw it in to your fingertips and your toe tips, maybe wiggling them around a little bit. And then slowly and gently, as you feel ready, taking your time, being gentle and kind with yourself, roll to one side and sit up.